This thing is my new best friend right now.
The person next to me just pulled the bumper off of their car.
This may just be post-run delirium.
Eat a banana, because I need to...
It's not this small. I don't know why I did that with my hand. It's Monday morning, it's just gone 7 AM and I'm out for a quick walk to get some steps in before I start working. Now, if you watched last week's episode, you'll remember me speaking about the idea that last week felt like a bit of a write-off. There was the half marathon and then I was injured and I was tired and I tried changing my diet, which made things even more difficult. Last week was a little bit of a write-off, so I want this week to be the opposite of that. I want to get back on with all of those good habits that I always speak about, right? So hence, out this morning, getting some steps in. That is getting enough steps and movement each day. That's getting enough sleep each night, eating the right foods, getting back into running training for these future events that I have in mind. That's getting back to the gym and following a new workout plan and just trying to be that bit more productive. So I'm working from home this week, which means I really have the chance to get on with some deep work tasks. So I'm gonna get these steps in, go and do a few hours worth of work, and then I'll catch up with you a little bit later on.
Yo, the man are selective bad boys. Some we just wanna be accepted bad boys. Some big whips but no electric bad boys. Think they're bad cause of Narcos, there's some Netflix bad boys. I know real shower man, you know reckless bad boys. You know them protein shaking at breakfast bad boys. The man are some bro, could you get me on a guest list bad boys? And then they wanna get up in the club and start flexing bad boys.
So it's been about 12 hours since we last spoke and I've got a few random updates for you. Firstly, this thing is my new best friend right now. If you watched the last few episodes, you would have heard me talk about the pain in my back and the physiotherapy stuff I'm doing, and the physiotherapist last week suggested that I shove a lacrosse ball into my back, which is what I've been doing for years to manage the pain. So alongside all of the stretches, she has also said that doing soft tissue work with one of these things helps. And let me tell you, it really helps. So I've been doing the stretches and I'm hoping that eventually the pain will pass with the correct exercises and stretching and whatever. But in the meantime, this is the greatest painkiller ever. Like, the pain flares up and it gets really sore, and then I shove this into my back against the wall for 2 minutes and it's gone. So this thing, very useful. Second very random update is that a little Alibaba style wireless charger turned up from Amazon today, which is good because my last 3-in-1 charger, which charges the iPhone, the Apple Watch and the AirPods, broke the other day, and I've been struggling to find the right cables and adapters to try and charge everything every night with a couple of plugs. So this thing is going to be very helpful. That's good news. Third random update is I just signed up to the Milton Keynes Winter Half Marathon, which is in 2 months and 1 day from now. So as of Wednesday, when I get back to running, like I spoke about this morning, I'm gonna go straight into a brand new training block, a condensed training block for a half marathon, but a training block nonetheless. And I'm gonna be pushing on with that goal of trying to get as close to possible to a 2-hour half marathon before the end of this year. I just think it's a nice starting point, and with everything I spoke about a couple of weeks ago that didn't go perfectly with the Cardiff Half Marathon, this is a chance to learn those lessons and action those lessons in a timely way. Because if I learn those lessons and then spend another year not running, it's not really effective. Whereas if I take those learnings and in this 8-week period really condense down the training and apply what I've learned, and then move forward next year with a big silly running challenge, which I'm not going to tell you about, but the planning is moving forward with it, that would be good. So the third random update is that I am running another half marathon in 8 weeks time as of today. So by the time you watch this, it's probably in like 6 weeks time. I suppose I should throw my phone over there. That's what I've done with the other random update possessions, isn't it? Random update number 4, just very briefly, if you're wondering what the weird lighting setup is in here right now, this ring light is because I have a smart bulb that stopped working, so I've just put a new one in and I haven't yet set it up in the app. So when I turn my bedroom light on right now, it just flashes and does all this weird stuff. That will be fixed by tomorrow, so hopefully when you see me this time tomorrow evening, the lighting will be normal. So they're all of the random unrelated updates. Now let me tell you about today. Obviously we spoke this morning and I touched on the idea that this week is going to be about putting all of those good habits back in place and essentially getting momentum back into my life. Now, Mondays are always a bad judge in my opinion, because it's really easy to be motivated and consistent and focused on a Monday. I don't know about you, but for me, I kind of ignore how Monday goes because I know that it doesn't really mean anything for the rest of the week. So today was really good. Today was really productive. I stuck to the unprocessed foods diet that I said I would. I got my 7,500 steps in, I've drank the 3 litres of water, I've ticked all the habits in my spreadsheet off, I've been really productive. I was a bit slower today with working, it's fine, I've got no evening plan, so I got everything done on my to-do list that I needed to. That's all good, but the real test will be the rest of this week, right? Chaining together those habits in such a way where they become sustainable, where they create this new foundation to move forward from, because like I spoke about last week, having a kind of down week and a bit of a crash makes it really difficult to move forward if you don't have the big reset. So this week is going to be that big reset, and we're 1 day in and it's going well, but I think the true test will be when we get to like Thursday or Friday or really Saturday. If I'm still sticking to the right foods then, if I'm still getting the steps in then, if I'm still getting back to the gym and getting back to running training, then a few days in, I think that's a good indicator. Until then, I'm just riding the wave of this short-term momentum to get things back on track. But nonetheless, momentum is good and any sort of positive action is good. So that's good news. I think that's everything for today. I'm going to go and jump in the bath and then get myself to bed, try and have an early night because I want to be back up in the morning at around 6 a.m. again. So I'm going to go and do that and I will catch up with you tomorrow.
Give me the crown, man, I want that. Red Bull with a cognac. I tried to share my throne with them, but I can see you ain't on that. I'm on arms, on combat. No trace, no contact. Bro bought a new mash, I don't know where that gun there's cool, but it's long at. Bad boy who? You were not part of a bad boy crew. Me and Flips roll up, tell a boy hold up, looking like something off of Bad Boys 2.
Evening, it's Tuesday night, the time is just before 8 PM. I've just got to the gym, although I'm parked in McDonald's because there's no parking in the gym car park. I can't see any parking restriction sign, so I don't think I'll get a ticket in the post, but if I do, fair enough. There's no parking at the gym. I am going to the gym regardless, so I'm parked in McDonald's. But one thing that I'm not eating right now is McDonald's, because if you watched last week's episode, you'll know that I'm doing this thing where I'm trying to entirely avoid added sugars and ultra processed foods and all of that shit. And last week I said it was a struggle, whereas this week, despite being in a calorie deficit, despite having had nothing really nothing ultra processed, I guess things like tin tuna are technically processed, they're not technically ultra processed, no ultra processed foods, I feel good, I feel okay. My energy has been really consistent, I haven't had any carb crashes, any sort of dips in energy, I haven't felt groggy, I haven't felt miserable. This is all good news. Today, although I haven't done any sort of filming to the camera yet, you would have seen on the time lapse that was just on that it's just been me sat at my desk in the house working all day. I had a call this morning to go over something and then just bashed out a bunch of work. I've been on a couple of walks today as well in my attempt to get those 7,500 steps a day. That is also going good. We're 2 days into the week and this pursuit of hitting all of these good habits of staying consistent 2 days in is still going strong. And you know what? I'm not even tempted to go in there and have a McDonald's. I'm not even tempted to grab a hot chocolate or eat this or that. You know, it's not that hard. It's going okay, and I feel good because of it. There are still things on the list that I need to get the ball rolling with again, of course. The first of the two big ones is going back to the gym. The person next to me just pulled the bumper off of their car. Do I look? Do I say anything? I'm not sure if you heard that. They're now looking at it. That's crazy. She drove onto the curb with her bumper and then reversed back and it's just torn it off. Oh no. But they're just parking there. They're just parking there and there's someone parking the other side of me, so I guess I'll just carry on. Basically, there are two big things that I still need to move forward with and stay consistent with. The first is the gym, is going back to the gym tonight and doing those 3 training days per week in the gym, and the other is starting a new running training block. So the gym begins tonight. I think it's going to be messy. I think light things are going to feel heavy right now, and then tomorrow the running training block begins with an evening run, a 40-minute slow-paced easy run, which will be nice. It'll be my first run back since the Cardiff Half Marathon a few weeks ago. So I'm going to get into the gym. If anything exciting or unusual happens in there, or if somebody else rips the bumper off of their car, I will let you know. If not, I'm going to go to the gym, go to bed, and I will catch up with you tomorrow.
fuck boy, what you gonna say, what you gonna do, run? Oh yeah right, you ain't gonna do none. Bad boy life ain't all that you hope for. Should've done book, but you wanna do gun. Charge 3 for a Z, that's banter. Black whip, all black, swag like a panther. Heard through the vine that storms in a bad boy, but I take care of my fam, I'm a gangster, yeah that's right.
It's Wednesday, the time is just before 2:30. I've been working this morning and now it's time to take Milo for his haircut. And I realised that because I haven't been home since this vlog started, you haven't met Milo. So you don't know who Milo is and you don't know why he needs a haircut. So if you wait there, I'm going to go and get Milo and try and show you him whilst holding this microphone. And then we're going to take him for his haircut and make him look good. Stay there. So this is Milo. And he is about to get his hair cut because he has very long hair. So I'm going to go and put his lead on, take him for a haircut, and then I'll show you him when he's done. Anything to add, Milo? One haircut acquired, one neat dog. It's raining, it's getting wet already. But all is good. Gonna get home now and do a little bit more work. And he, I imagine, is going to go to bed. I'll catch up with you later on. Morning is Thursday. I did not record last night. I went for a run and then I was very tired afterwards and then I went to bed. But first run back was okay. I'm following a new training plan for something next year. So I did a 40-minute easy run where your heart rate should stay below, I think, 70% of your maximum heart rate. Mine did not. Even making that run as easy as I could at a very slow pace, it just felt difficult. Now I'm guessing this is a combination of having not trained for a few months before the run the other week, plus the run the other week, plus having not run since then, plus calorie deficit and all these other things. So I'm hoping that easy runs get a bit easier in the future. So tomorrow is another run day, and then Sunday I've got a 1 hour 40-minute long run as part of this training block. So there's going to be lots of running coming up in the near future. I may even, if it's not raining next time, try and take the camera with me and have a little chat whilst running to see how that goes. Because in theory, with an easy run, you should be able to speak because you're in zone 2, so I'll give it a go. Today I want to do something a little bit different because I've been telling you all about cutting out ultra-processed foods and trying to eat in a slight calorie deficit with 0 ultra-processed foods and how I feel better because of it. But I realised I haven't actually shown you what I eat. So rather than doing the time-lapse of me working today, because it's not going to be very exciting, I'm just going to be at this desk doing what I normally do, and you've seen enough of that this week. I'm just going to show you what I'm eating as I eat it. So I'm going to go make my breakfast in a minute. I'll show you that, and then lunch, and then dinner, and then snacks and everything else. And then I'll probably catch up with you properly a little bit later on tonight when I'm on my way to the gym. But in the meantime, I'm going to go make my breakfast, and I'll see you in a second to show you what I'm having. Okay, so this is breakfast. It looks a bit bland, but I promise you it tastes okay. So it's 4 eggs scrambled just with a bit of butter, nothing else. Loads of black pepper, because there is no such thing as too much black pepper. Porridge with some blueberries in, no sugar, nothing added to it. It's literally just like plain porridge, blueberries, black coffee, obviously no milk, no sugar. That replaces Red Bull, which has been difficult. And then just a pint of water with electrolytes. So that is breakfast. Okay, so this is lunch. It doesn't look the best, but I promise it tastes okay. This is 3 things. It's tuna, it's pasta, and it's cheddar with loads of black pepper on top, because as discussed, there is no such thing as too much black pepper. Fairly evenly balanced from a macro point of view, really easy to eat, and genuinely, as B-Tech as this looks, doesn't taste bad. This tastes okay. This is easy to eat. So this is lunch. Okay, so this is dinner, but I thought I had jacket potatoes in the house. I do not. So it is a steak and some tomatoes on its own. And before the end of the day, I'm going to need to find some more carbs. But this is what I'm going to call dinner for now. Minus some carbs. We will find some carbs before the end of the day. I'm going to eat this, jump in the car and go to the gym. And I'll catch up with you in about an hour when I get to the gym. But in the vlog, that'll be right now. So it's 10 to 9, I have just got to the gym, I'm parked in McDonald's again, so I really hope there's no ANPR cameras on this car park, because these fines are going to get expensive, so I trust there's not, I don't see any, but nonetheless, no parking at the gym again, so parked in McDonald's again, but still not eating McDonald's again, because still eating well again, as we know. Anyway, today's been a funny one, so I had a big long day of stuff planned, and I probably got like 60% of it done, but there were things which I kind of pulled out of the schedule, things which I moved aside, lots that came in this morning that I needed to deal with quite urgently, which means that lots of the things I wanted to get done didn't get done. It's just been one of those messy days, like what I spoke about a few weeks ago, where everything changes all at once and you need to just deal with it. So although I have been very busy all day, although I have been working all day, it feels like I've got very little done from the list of things I wanted to get done, but that's okay. Tomorrow it's going to be quite busy. Then I'm ending the day a little bit earlier than usual to finish last week's vlog that you would have seen, because I haven't finished that yet, editing wise. And then I might go to the cinema to see Some Otherhood, the new Adam Deacon film, on my own, cause why not? Unsure if I will, because it starts a little bit early around here, and the only late showings are in Northampton. Also, look at me going to the cinema twice in the space of like a month. I just do not go to the cinema. This is very unusual. The plan for the rest of tonight is to go to the gym, do what I need to do, drive home, eat a banana, because I need to... Try that again. We'll try that again. Eat a banana. There we go. Because I need to get more carbs in, and then go to bed, I think. Try and get as much sleep as I can before a fairly productive day. My phone's ringing. Stay there. And then get myself to bed for tomorrow, which will be fairly busy, quite a long day. And then, as usual, not film on Saturday and see you on Sunday. That's the plan, at least. I'm going to go to the gym, and I will catch up with you tomorrow, where hopefully I have a little bit more to show you beyond just the food I've eaten today. So I'll see you tomorrow. Morning, it's Friday. I'm just about to get on with some work. I thought I'd get Milo involved in the vlog this morning, so I let him into my bedroom, but he just stole my hat and ran away, so that didn't happen. But I don't have a lot to do today, which is good news. It's really sunny outside, which is good news. I'm about to get on with some work and then edit last week's vlog. It's almost there, but it's not finished. It's taking forever. And then tonight, as I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to go to the cinema, probably in Northampton, which means I need to leave here by about 9 p.m. So I've got a few hours to get done what I need to. But like I say, today isn't super busy, so it should be a chilled one. Just quickly before I work, I almost caved this morning. For the second time this week, I woke up and my mind was like, it'd be a really good idea to have a Red Bull right now. And I'm like, no, don't want a Red Bull. Not doing processed food. My mind was like, no, it'd be a really good idea to have a Red Bull right now. So then I started reasoning with myself. I was like, oh, maybe I'll just have a sugar-free one, and maybe I'll have the little one, and la la la. And I was so close to being like, you know what? I'll still eat the healthy diet today, but I'll just have a Red Bull. But at the very last minute, I thought, no, to satisfy this craving, I'm going to go to the coffee shop down the bottom of the road and get a nice handcrafted flat white, which tastes better than the black coffee I've been drinking all week, has the caffeine kick that I was probably looking for without all of the shit that's in a sugar-free Red Bull. So I almost caved, but I did not. However, I haven't decided whether I'm going to give myself like a day off per week where I still eat within this slight calorie deficit, but kind of eat what I want. So tomorrow might be Red Bull day. I'm going to sit here and do a few hours worth of work, then edit the vlog, then get ready for a 40-minute run that I'm doing tonight. It's really windy today, so it won't be the nicest of runs. And then I'll catch up with you a little bit later on between the run and going to the cinema. So see you later.
You know bad and bad ass callers. How they gonna harm us? Came wearing a flat cap looking like somebody's father. I brought a bad man here, I brought a bad man here. You're a bad man how? Bad man where? Apart from you there's bad man here. You know bad and bad ass callers. How they gonna harm us? Came wearing a flat cap looking like somebody's father. I brought a bad man here, I brought a bad man here. You're a bad man how? Bad man where? Apart from you there's bad man here.
I'm going to finish off tonight with a bit of phone footage to give you the authentic look into what it looks like just after I've got off the treadmill. Went to the gym to do tonight's run rather than going outside, because where I live is really hilly and it was raining, and I wanted to set a faster than 2-hour half marathon pace to get used to that. That's part of the training plan. Today's run was like a steady, faster run. So went to the gym, was supposed to run for 40 minutes, but I bumped up the pace slightly. So I did just under 4 miles in 33 minutes. So much faster, I say much faster, fractionally faster, but importantly faster than a 2-hour half marathon. Crazy how much I sweat whilst running indoors. I guess everyone's the same because you just don't have the wind and the circulation of like air. But that was miserable. I wanted to go for 40 minutes. The demons won, but I thought, you know what, I've gone above pace, so actually it probably has the same effect there or thereabouts. Oh, I'm tired. I haven't had dinner yet either, so I did that on like 1100 calories all day. Probably not ideal. Anyhow, I am gonna go home, get dinner, drive to Northampton, see this film, and I will catch up with you, unless anything exciting happens in the meantime, on Sunday morning, just before the 1 hour and 40 run that I need to do before I go out for food with my mum, then before I do book club, and then before I drive to Wales. Sunday is going to be busy, and I will see you then. So it is Sunday, it is about 2 p.m. I've just got back from my run. I went a little bit later than planned because I just could not sleep last night. So I woke up, went for the run. I did an hour and 44 minutes, an hour and 45 minutes. Run was supposed to be an hour and 40 minutes, but I pushed it to 10 miles, which was about an hour and 44 minutes. And it was really, really nice. I'm sore now after the fact, but running out there in like clear blue skies in the autumn with the sun beating down with a playlist on at a pace which was comfortable. That wasn't a difficult run from a pace perspective, so it was just nice the whole time listening to music. It was amazing. I feel really, really good. But I have a very sore knee. Same sore knee that I had 2 weeks ago after the Cardiff half marathon, and it crept up on me. It came out of nowhere. Like, this was fine during the run. It was only when I stopped that it seized up, and it's the exact same sore knee, come to think of it, which stopped me from doing my 30 days of running a few months ago. You probably don't know about that because it wasn't on this vlog. It was a few months back. But I think I know what causes it. So when I sit at my desk, I always sit on my right leg. It's just this bad habit of mine. And I think that the kind of tendons or whatever inside of the knee that are being stretched unnaturally constantly in such a way because I'm sitting on the leg and stretching it out and twisting it for like 8 hours a day has damaged the leg to the point where running becomes problematic. Now, of course, there's lots of running I want to do this year and next year, so I need to fix that. And I've had an idea as to how, because just trying to do behavior change when it's so instinctual, when I've done it for so many years, when it probably goes back to my school days, just won't cut it. I'm gonna build a bit of a contraption. Now that won't be until probably next week, so you'll see about it hopefully in next week's episode. I've had what I think is a genius idea. This may just be post-run delirium. It may be a terrible idea, but I think it's genius. Now, because it's later in the day than planned, I'm not gonna do book club today. I am going to get a bath, try and recover very quickly, then go and see my dad, and then have food out with my mum, then come back here, create the thumbnail for this week's vlog, so last week's vlog if you're watching this one, pack up my car and then drive to Wales. So almost just as busy a day as it was going to be, just everything's starting a little bit later, which means I'll get to Wales a little bit later, which means that tomorrow morning will probably begin a little bit later, but that's okay. I will catch up with you later on just before I sign out for the week, but until then I'm gonna go get a bath and hopefully make my knee hurt slightly less because it is really, really sore right now and I need to deal with it. I'm keeping with tradition by ending the vlog recording on the phone. It is 11:15. It is 2.5 degrees outside. This is definitely the coldest night so far, but by the time you watch this, like towards the end of October, this will sound silly because I'm sure it'll be much colder. But tonight, right now, seeing 2.5 degrees is cold, so I think my car's going to be frozen in the morning. I have just got back to Wales after a 3-hour drive, stopped for about an hour, went for a wee, whatever else. I like to stop halfway through. But anyway, just got back to Wales. I'd love to tell you what next week looks like, but I've been so busy this weekend, literally non-stop both days, doing life admin and sorting bits for my mum and doing bits of work and doing content and whatever else, that I haven't actually planned next week yet, which is very unlike me. So before I go to bed, because I have a rule with myself that 100% of the time, even on a day off, I will plan the next day, the night before. Like, I always know what I'm doing when I wake up. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna jump into bed, grab out my little laptop. It's not this small. I don't know why I did that with my hand. My smaller of the two laptops, which I use for things like the book. I'm gonna open Google Calendar, I'm gonna open Google Docs, I'm gonna plan the week, and then I'm gonna plan in detail tomorrow, so that by the time I wake up tomorrow morning around 8 a.m. I know what I'm doing in great detail for the day. I know what I'm doing for the rest of the week. I know when I'm going to the gym, when my runs are, how far those runs are, the work I need to do, the big projects, the meetings, the whatever else. I'm gonna have a plan. But right now, I can't wrap up the vlog by telling you what next week looks like because I genuinely don't know. Thank you as always for watching, and thank you for getting to the end of this video because I feel like this has been a bit of a different vlog. I'll be honest with you, there were times this week, I think just because I didn't really leave my bedroom and didn't stop working all day for so many days, that I felt like I couldn't be bothered like filming the details of the day because the days felt so repetitive, which again, I know I say at the end of every video, but that's the reality of like doing this stuff. However, I feel like this one may have been slightly underwhelming. Hopefully there will be more to show you next week. Hopefully it will be a slightly more exciting week, but between now and then I'm going to get into the house, plan next week, get myself to bed, and I will see you next week.